Hey, what's up YouTube? Last week we wrapped up the whip lights. This weekend I'm working on getting the light bar reinstalled so I can get the windshield back on, so I get this Talon out of the garage so we can move on to the Can-Am. We had a company reach out to us and offer to send us a set of whip lights for a quick review video, which is what we're going to do today, and I also figured it was a good opportunity to go over some switch wiring. So with that said, I'm going to get the camera resituated over here, we're going to look at these switches, we're going to go over the wiring, and then we'll get into the whip lights. So let's do it. Alright, so we got the camera situated. Let's talk about some switches. I have two different styles of switches here. The one on the right is from Kimimoto. The one on the left is from Nylite. All right, now there is one little difference in these switches. They both control light bars or anything for that matter, but there is one difference that I did want to talk about real quick. If you notice the Kimimoto one on the right, the lower light on this is just a small indicator light. The upper is a large one. So anytime I have power going to the switch, this light's going to be lit. When I turn it on, the top one's going to be lit, letting me know my device is on. But the text is just text printed on the plastic. The one on my left, which is from Nylite, it's not just a basic lower indicator light. The light is actually behind this text, which is see-through. So then that when the light's on, you have that text illuminated. So it says roof light bar. And when you turn it on, the top light bar logo is illuminated, letting you know your device is on. Not a big difference, but I definitely prefer the ones where I can see the text. So I definitely look for that myself. Just wanted to point that out to you guys when you guys were scrolling through Amazon. So if we turn this switch around, there's our 5 pins. You got 7 and 8 at the top. 2, 3, and 6 at the bottom. Okay, 7 and 8 are always going to be your ground. You bring your ground into the switch, jump it over, that's it. 2, 3, and 6 is where your wiring options come into play. So you got two different ways to wire this switch, and that's going to depend on your setup. I'm a firm believer in only using keyed on only power sources. That way I can keep my lower indicator light on, which is going to light up my roof light bar text on this. And then when it turns that on, it comes onto that. If you wire it directly to your battery, you're not going to get any lights until you turn the switch on. That's on purpose. You definitely want to do it that way. You don't want that light on when the machine's just sitting there. Like I said, I'm a firm believer in keyed on only power sources. There's a whole lot of advantages to it. We did just drop that video going over the second battery on the Talon. Definitely go check that out if you guys haven't. So 2 is always going to be your incoming power. Now your flexibility comes into 3 and 6. So if you're wiring it to the battery, you want to bring your power into 2 and then just leave 3 and 6 jumped out and then also going out to your outgoing load. So what that's going to do is power's always sitting here. Then when you turn on the switch, it's going to activate your light over here to 6 plus your device. All right. Now, if you wanted it, if you're doing key on only power source, that way you can keep that bottom indicator light on when the machine's running only, what you're going to do is jump out 2 and 6 and then use 3 only for your outgoing source. I hope that makes sense, because what that means is as soon as there's power sitting here, it automatically lights up this other indicator light, and the top one doesn't come on until the switch is flipped and these 2 are activated. It's really that simple. There's not much to it. Don't get stumped on this. Very easy. You guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comments. I'll be happy to help. So I have this one set up. These things usually, another thing I like to point out too is when you're shopping for switches, always look for the ones with the jumpers included. It just makes it way easier. Otherwise you're going to sit here and make your own up, which I've done in the past. It's not hard, but this is just easy and quick. Alright, so there's your switches, guys. Like I said, super easy. With that being said, let's move on to these whip lights. So I got these whip lights from a company called Ehaho. I hope I'm saying that right. They offered to send us a set in order for us to review them for you guys, which is what we're going to do now. I want to tell you that I'm going to give you my 100% honest opinion. I've tried several sets of whip lights in my life. A lot of them are made very similar. They're all coming from China. They're all rebranded. So this company I'd never heard about. I needed a set of whip lights for the Talon anyway, and I figured, screw it, I'll give them a shot. So that's exactly what we did. I will say I was impressed with the kit and the packaging. It came definitely well packaged, but most importantly, I was impressed with what was included in it. It came with a complete wiring kit. It came with the rocker switch. It came with 3 different sets of flags. It came with all the hardware to mount the flags. It basically came with everything that I needed. You know, the rocker switches aren't much, but they are 10, 12 bucks, up to 20 bucks, depending on what you're looking for, and it all adds up quick. So I was just happy that it was all included. The only thing that wasn't included with the kit was the actual mounts to mount to my roll cage. I did pick those up off of Kimimoto. I will leave some links down in the description. You know, but I can't really expect that to include them in the kit because whatever, it is what it is. So with that being said, let's get right into these whip lights and let's check them out. All right, so these lights are super easy to install. You really just got to hook them up to a power source. You can get as complicated with that or as simple with that as you want. I chose to get a little bit more complicated, but that's kind of on me. I'm weird like that. So when I started wiring, I actually had to start from the front. I brought the wiring up into the cab, where I mounted a rocker switch right in the middle. I did have to put that there because I'm out of room with switches over here. So let me show you guys like what I was talking about, that 12 volt keyed on only power source. So if you look at the lighted whip switch right now, nothing's lit. When I turn that on, you can see the bottom part where the text only is illuminated. It says lighted whip. And when I flip it, top one comes on. So that's why I like the keyed on only power sources, because when I look down I just see whip. Now this one, honestly, it's not that important because it's sitting in the middle and it's the only one, so I know what it's for. But when it's up on the dash, it is a little bit different. You see my rock light one's right there. The text only is illuminated. Anyway, got the tablet in the middle. That's what controls everything. That's the brains of the Talon. I got GPS, music. That controls my rock lights, whip lights, my front and rear cameras, all that good stuff. So, whip lights. This did come with 3 sets of flags. I know one was an American, one was Gadsden. I don't remember the last one, but I will leave a picture of that because it was kind of nice that they gave 3 different flags. I chose to mount mine on the back here. I like that 45-degree angle. One of the things I did like about this kit is it came with a spring set. Some of them don't. So I like the springs. When you're really going through the woods in between tight trails, it's just going to bounce around instead of break your whip lights. I went with the Kimimoto UTV whip light mounts, which worked out great. Just kind of mounted them right there on the inside of the cage from far off road. I think I'm happy with them, to be honest. What I'm going to do, you can't really see them. The only thing that I will question with these is they don't seem as bright as the ones that I do have on the Can-Am. I haven't been out riding at nighttime yet. I am going to pull it out here in a minute just to see what it looks like. But I will say that just sitting in the garage, it definitely doesn't seem like it's as bright as the Can-Am. But anyway, I'm going to pull this thing out. We'll go over the app control. This thing does come with an app. That is one of my complaints with this, is even though they do come with the apps, I rarely use them. I tend to just set up a color and then leave it. But it does come with an app, so we'll touch on that. I downloaded on the Android tablet that I have in there. My biggest gripe with all of these Bluetooth apps that they're coming out with is it's only in portrait mode. The app doesn't work in landscape mode. So when I'm driving down the road like this, I got to take it out to mess with it, which is why I never do. So that's it, guys. Whip lights on the Talon. Let's whip this bad boy out and see what it looks like in the dark. Let's do it. All right, let's get this thing pulled out. On a side note, I'm not quite sure that the whip lights are going to clear the garage door, but there's only one way to find out. Let's do it.
One minute, 37 seconds later.
Yeah, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. No biggie. Quick adjustment, we're good. So there she is, boys, in all her glory. It didn't seem that bright in the garage, but honestly, that's plenty bright. I know a lot of people go back and forth on whether or not they like whip lights, but for me, when we're doing our night riding and the wife's in front of me, I like to just be able to chase them. It works. I like these too because you can also double up and use them as turn signals or brake signals as well. We do have the turn signals wired up on the Can-Am. When we're out in West Virginia, Tennessee, those kind of places where it's road legal, it is nice to be able to use those. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. Maybe I will wire up those turn signals because I am going to make this thing road ready. So that's the solid green. I got it kind of matching the rock lights. Let's check out this app, see what that's about. Not a firm believer in the apps. Like I said, it really has little usability the way that I run the tablet because it's always in landscape mode. So this is a Gamma car launcher. Shut that off, but we'll leave that on. What we will do is turn off our rock lights. So anyway, this is our Gamma car launcher. This is the brains, like I was saying. I control everything from here. On the left side, you see my music, GPS, and rock lights. On the right side, I got cameras, whip lights, and then just to access the apps on the tablet. Starting from the left, my music, that gets tied into my Apple Music, but you could use whatever you want. If you want Spotify, whatever it is, you just program that button. GPS, for GPS, I use Lifetime Trail Maps. Awesome trail mapping software that for out in West Virginia and Tennessee. Rock lights, that's how I can control. I could turn them on and off. I could change the colors, but like I said, I typically just put them on green and leave them. On the right-hand side at the top, I got cameras. Now I have a 12-volt Wi-Fi camera in the front and the back on this thing. So when I press that, it's gonna bring up my cameras and I can choose which one. Then you got your whip light control and then the apps. So right now, let's see if we can get these whip lights. They're green, all right? So we go into our control. I'm gonna hit my whip light button. And there we go. This is what irritates me. So rather than tilt my head sideways, I'm gonna pull this bad boy out and we'll hop out of the machine so we can actually see. All right, so there's the app. Switch it back into portrait mode. You got all different kinds of styles, right? You got music, you got your styles here. I could do all kinds of stuff. Now here's the thing with these. I made review videos on the other ones. That one's just 5/7 color jump, right? So it keeps bouncing around, red, green, all that good stuff. You got magic back. Let's see what that one is. Well, it looks like it's just kind of fading in, fading out, but it looks like it's staying to red. Whew, it's cold. So basically, you got 1,000 different options. You could set these things to beat to the music. You could do all kinds of little magical fades. To me, all that stuff's kind of gimmicky. I just want the lights in the back. I typically just leave them on green or red when I'm on the roads, and that's it. So there's the app. Like I said, I'm not gonna go over this that much just because it's not really that great of a feature. A lot of all this Bluetooth Wi-Fi stuff, it uses the same app. It's all the basic kind of crappy control. So that's it, guys. Whip lights on our 2019 Honda Talon. If you have any questions regarding installation or products, please let me know. I will leave a product link down in the description. This was a paid promotion. They did send us out to review for free. If you guys would support the channel, we'd definitely appreciate it. If not, no worries too. I'm gonna pull this thing back in the machine, pull this thing back in the garage. It's freezing, so I can't even talk straight. And then I'm gonna get this light bar on so I can get this thing out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.